Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Terry Whitfield, also known as YashaBenYishrael. Back at you one more again with one good special. Hey, check it out. On this show here, I want to talk about some things real quick. Just try to make this quick. I want to talk about two individuals, Raborn and Morpheus, guys who make their appearances on the Sinetta Studios network. Today on this show, these guys are teaching misinformation about the origins of the Hebrew Israelite movement, and I am going to prove that to this day. Let's get it.
Alright, cool. Peace. So I guess we're gonna have to start with the history. So when we deal with the origin of the Black Hebrew Israelite theology on people who identify themselves as Jews, I'm gonna start with Williams Crowley, and this will come from the Exodusters movement. So you will have something called the Great Awakening, and in periods of American history, that's talking about the revival of religion for certain aspects. So in this part, we are talking about the third and the fourth period. So the Exodusters are dealing with individuals like Pat Singleton, etc., moving from the South to Oklahoma to Guthrie. And within inside of this free black town that they're developing, there becomes a development of these people dealing with Freemasonry. So when they deal with that specific aspect, the brother Crowley becomes a Freemason. But he has a dream, and in his dream, he was told by whatever vision he had that we, the black people, are the Jews. So he's technically the first person, the origin of that theology, as far as saying that we are those people. Then you will have Cherry, right? You will have F.S. Cherry. He is a little different because he doesn't identify us coming directly from like an African tradition. He'll say we came from Palestine. So this is where that will begin. And then as we go.
Okay. So we got Rob Bourne right here on record, clearly stating that William Crowley was the first one to start the Hebrew Israelite movement.
So he's technically the first person, the origin of that theology, as far as saying that we are those people. That's crazy to me. This is 2022. Thanks. This is 2022, bro. And you guys are still in junior high school. It's crazy. They make it so bad. Watch this, huh? Well, then I'm gonna get off. So did you notice nobody answered my question that I asked, what was it, Friday or Saturday? Nobody. That's why I call it the smoke and mirror stuff, right? What do I mean by the smoke and mirror stuff, right? I said if I wanted to learn about movements in America, we're in America, y'all. If I wanted to understand the movement of the Mormons have a church. Mormons have an ideology. Mormons have a Bible. Great. If I wanted to understand that, I would study who? The founder. Who? Joseph Smith. And I go, okay, Joseph Smith. Who's Joseph Smith? And I would look up Joseph Smith, and I would find, hey, where did Joseph Smith get this idea from? And he's looking and said, oh, Joseph Smith, he got his claim is a vision. What? So his whole Mormon stuff comes from a vision that he claimed he had. Fine, great. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say I wanted to understand the Nation of Islam, the movement in America of the Nation of Islam. I would go to its founders. Who? Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right?
America just made history. If you're under...
I said, okay, this is the founders. This is the beginning of this ideology. Fine, makes sense. Now I keep going. Let's say I want to do the same thing with the Moors. I would say, Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali is the founder of this ideology, philosophy, school of thought. Fine, great. Let's keep going. If I say, hey, the Nuwabians, who started that ideology? We would look and we would study and we would find Malachi Z. York. And we would say, okay, Malachi Z. York is the founder of this ideology called Nuwabian. And we could study him, where it comes from, so forth and so on. Great, fantastic. Now let's go to the Black Hebrew Israelite ideology in America. Where is its foundation? You go straight to Cherry. You're not going to show me no one in America before Cherry talking about African Americans are descendants of Hebrew Israelites. And what's let's keep going. Theology in America. Where is its foundation? You go straight to Cherry. You're not going to show me no one in America before Cherry talking about African Americans are descendants of Hebrew Israelites.
We see we got a good source here. This is Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy Simmons, the Black Rechabite. The source here is American Zion, Yale University, 2013. That's Yale University there. From American Zion, the Rechabites from whom Billy claimed his ancestry were a biblical clan, the progeny of Jehonadab or Jonadab, the son of Rechab. A southern expression of similar sensibility also emerged on the margins of American society, manifesting itself in the figure of Billy Simmons, a ascetic Negro, the only recorded instance of a black Jew in the whole Old South, who proclaimed himself a Rechabite in antebellum Charleston. Uncle Billy was a familiar figure in the streets of the slave-holding city, a slave who carried and delivered local newspapers for many years. Surprisingly, the city's Jews admitted him to their congregation, Kahal Kadesh Beth Elohim, regardless of their proscription in its constitution against people of color. His Charlestonian coreligionists noted and appreciated Billy's exemplary devotion, which he exhibited every Yom Kippur as he was wrought in thought, contemplating deeply and atoning for hours. Consequently, the managers of the Hazel Street Synagogue very commendably honored the old man with one of the most respectable front seats in their house of worship. Billy, probably born free in Africa around 1780, related to Jews and Gentiles alike that his father frequently told him of their descent from the Rechabites, a group he believed still existed as a separate tribe in Africa. The Rechabites from whom Billy claimed his ancestry were a biblical clan, a progeny of Jehonadab or Jonadab, the son of Rechab, and following God's commandments to live aesthetically, to avoid wine, and not to build houses, but to dwell in tents all your days, as the book of Jeremiah 35 told us. The Lord promised that the Rechabites would not be cut off, but stand before me forever. Billy's father, and no doubt Billy himself, were thus said never to have tasted any wine or spirituous liquors, following the customs of the Rechabites of old. Source, Britannica.com. Encyclopedia Britannica 2007. The Rechabites, a member of a conservative aesthetic Israelite sect that was named for Rechab, the father of Jehonadab. Jehonadab was an ally of Jehu, a 9th century BC king of Israel, and a zealous antagonist against the worshippers of Baal, a Canaanite fertility deity. Though of obscure origin, the Rechabites apparently were related to the Kenizzites, according to 1 Chronicles 2 and 55, a tribe eventually absorbed into Judah in the 10th century BC. The Rechabites were separatists who refused to participate in agricultural pursuits, drink wine, or engage in other practices associated with the Canaanites. Believing that the semi-nomadic way of life was a religious obligation, they herded their flocks over much of Israel and Judah. They were fervent followers of Yahweh and God of Israel, and are best known for their connection with the slaughter of the worshippers of Baal during the revolt of Jehu. According to later Jewish tradition, the Rechabites intermarried with the Levites, the priestly clan. So we have a black Jew, Billy Simon, that was born in 1780. And he was an old man already in the antebellum period. So he was a lone Jew and had been a Jew a long time by the time that he made history in America. This here is your record of a black Jew in the land of Africa, boarding the ship as a Jew, taking the voyage as a Jew, an Israelite, okay, and getting off the ship as a practicing Israelite. And he continued to practice his Hebrewism in Charleston all the days of his life. So we'll play Morpheus as he talk about how he been searching over 40 years and haven't found it yet, or haven't found no Israelites prior to Cherry. Then obviously he's either looking in the wrong direction or he hasn't been looking hard enough.
Are y'all serious right now? You're stuck in the same school. There's nothing wrong with the school, don't get me wrong. But you was never intended to stay there. It's just like you was never intended to stay in elementary school. You went to elementary school, you learned arithmetic, you learned how to add, you learned your nouns, you learned all this stuff, and then you graduate, and then you go to junior high school. Guess what now? Now you're learning fractions, you're learning how to do a little bit of algebra, and so forth. And then what's this now? You graduate, and then you go to the next school. Now you're learning trigonometry, now you're learning all these, a different level of education, but you guys are still stuck in that one school. You never went no further. That's crazy to me. This is 2022. This is 2022, bro. And you guys are still in junior high school. It's crazy. They make it so bad. Watch this, huh? Wait, I'm gonna get off. But did you notice nobody answered my question that I asked, was it Friday or Saturday? Nobody. That's why I call it the smoke and mirror stuff. Right? What do I mean by the smoke and mirror stuff? Right? I said if I wanted to learn about movements in America, we're in America, y'all. If I wanted to understand the movement of the Mormons have a church. Mormons have an ideology. Mormons have a Bible. Great. If I wanted to understand that, I would study who? The founder. Who? Joseph Smith. And I go, okay, Joseph Smith. Who? Joseph Smith. And I would look up Joseph Smith, and I would find, hey, where did Joseph Smith get this idea from? And then look and I said, oh, Joseph Smith, he got his claim is a vision. What? So his whole Mormon stuff comes from a vision that he claimed he had. Fine, great. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say I wanted to understand the Nation of Islam, the movement in America of the Nation of Islam. I would go to its founders. Oh, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? W.F. Muhammad. Okay, this is the founders. This is the beginning of this ideology. fantastic. Now let's go to the black Hebrew Israelite ideology in America. Where is its foundation? You go straight to Cherry. You're not going to show me no one in America before Cherry talking about African Americans are descendants of Hebrew Israelites. And what's funny about it, when you look at Cherry, his claim is just like Joseph Smith. He had a vision. He had a vision. So your ideology starts with a guy who has a vision in the early 1900s. You're not getting around that. You're not showing me nobody before Cherry talk about African Americans or descendants of some goddamn Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. You're not showing that. So you can do the smoke and mirrors and jump to the ancient stuff, right? The ancient stuff, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, Joseph, Jacob, maybe you can do all that. But that's not the beginning of your ideology. You no one had that ideology before Cherry. Nobody. Why is this so hard if I say show me somebody?
Hold on, Morpheus. I got one of the most powerful Israelite brothers on the line right now. He's calling in to ask you the question, or I guess he might want you to ask him. And I speak of none other than Elder Quanah is on the line. Go ahead.
Shalom, family. Go up and beans and greens, everybody else too. My question in my statement is, as black people in America, right? Some people say we're indigenous, but then we know a lot of us came on slave ships and we lost our identity. And they told us that we was African American. They told us that we was Negro because you brought up something, an article on my dear brother Apostle. The funny thing about it is what somebody else called us. We're black, Negro. Someone else called us. So when you read the Bible, right? He still believed in Christ, right? But just like I would ask my brother Morpheus this, didn't they teach us that we was inferior and they were superior, right? So when you hear taught something and then you found out it was a lie, it's not that he converted; he found out the truth. So I don't know the question that you got somebody. The man already believed in the Bible. He say, "Oh, they've been lying to me. The angel's white, God's white, the prophet's white. Oh, guess what? The people who see the chosen, they lied and say it was them. I come to find out it was me, right? So he always believed." Right? So it's just like, I'm pretty sure you saw something different in life and found out somebody told you something which was a lie. You said, how was you raised? Who was you born? Well, I was born a boy, a baby, a man. Right? And you taught something, if you was taught lies, then you researched and found the truth. So to say, see, you wasn't an Israelite, you converted. Brother, everybody's a child and they're taught by their parents. And people be lied to. So I don't understand that your question like you think you chopped somebody up. That's real asinine. I mean, come on, man. We all smarter than that. You got some brothers right here like they women, and women segregate men because somebody told they are. So at the end of the day, go ahead.
Brother Quanah,
I'm listening.
Much respect, because I love you, brother. I really do. I like you, right? I like Quanah, right? So I agree with everything you just said. It's not that I have no disagreement. The point that I'm trying to get to is get the people, to think about that whatever ideology that we had before, at the time that we were in it, we did not know we were wrong, right? So now we get this new information, and now we realize, looking back, I was wrong. Cool. So now I say, now that you're in another position with an ideology, philosophy, school of thought, how do you know you are not wrong again?
Okay, I will answer it. Let me answer it. Okay, you say, how do I know I'm not wrong? And you can put up all the scholars. All the scholars don't agree. Everybody in Kemet don't agree. Everybody that's calling themselves an Israelite, women don't agree. So how do we find out if somebody wrong or right? We sit down and compare notes. So to say, well, if I could, when you ask the Apostle the question, if I can show you, and I can get scholars to show you that you're not an Israelite, well, can you? So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's one thought against another thought. But to say that he converted, I don't think that's a fair statement.
No, I never mentioned anything about conversion. What I asked, and I'm gonna ask you the same question, And when I ask questions, Quran, they're not gotcha moments. They're nothing because I'm trying to get you or put you in a corner. And so these are logical, really things that I think about. I say, hold on, wait a minute. Okay.
The truth of the matter, people, is that when you open your mouth and attempt to try to let people know how smart you is, to a very intelligent individual as myself, when you open your mouth, the longer you talk, the more you let people know what you don't know.
Prior to Cherry, how come I can't find any main movement or ideologies of black people in America prior to Cherry, with the ideology saying that African Americans are descendants of Hebrew Israelites in the Bible prior to Cherry. Now, if someone can show that to me, I'd be happy to receive it. I'm saying I've been searching for 40 years. I ain't find it.
That's because, like I said, for one, you're not a scholar, all right? And if you have been searching, then you should have learned how to be a scholar. You should learn how to research. And in learning how to research, then you would have searched in the right direction for the right materials. Just like you stated, Morpheus, when you want to learn something, you go to that school of thought. When you want to learn about the Mormons, you go to their leaders, right? And when you want to learn about the Israelites, you come to the Israelite leaders. And I, YashaBenYishrael, is an Israelite leader. You come to me when you want to learn the truth, buddy.
Okay, well, I answered that question. In order